Hi, I'm Yesenia Collado, and I will be doing the research topic on could bullying affect adulthood? What is bullying? Well, bullying is unwanted, aggressive behavior amongst school-aged children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. The behavior is repeated or has the potential to be repeated over time. Bullying can occur during or after school hours. While most reported bullying happens in the school building, a significant percentage also happens in places like the playground or on the bus. It can also happen traveling to or from school and in the youth's neighborhood or on the internet. Effects of bullying as a child could be attendance, because the victim of bullying is skipping classes in order to avoid the bully, which could decrease the academic achievements, like dropping their GPA due to test scores because they've been absent to class, which means they've been missing class and they do not know the material, and the participation as well, because they will not be participating since they are absent, and they will not learn as they did before because they are skipping school in order to avoid the bully. They could also avoid certain areas or activities in order to not be around the bully or not have the potential to be bullied anymore. So it will decrease their activities since they are afraid to do these because they know where the bully is and they know that the bully could potentially harm them. So the fear of the bullies will make them do things like potentially lie to adults and not tell the truth about what is really happening. So it could really affect their attendance, grades, and their certain areas or activities. Bullying could potentially alter the brain, like, for example, the amygdala, the part of the brain's temporal lobe that deals with fear, anxiety, and emotional response, was shown to be larger in bullied adolescents, particularly in boys, whereas girls were shown to have thinner temporal and prefrontal cortexes, the parts of the brain that regulate our social behavior, language, and emotional association. Thinner prefrontal cortexes have been linked to more impulsive, dangerous behavior, and big amygdalas have been linked to anxiety later in life. Though victims of bullying develop problems, so do the bullies. Like, for example, they develop antisocial personality disorder, and though bullying has an effect on both sides of the spectrum, but more significantly on the victims of bullying more than the bully themselves. Bullying can cause depression and anxiety, as proved by various sources, like, for example, in Bullying by Peers Has Effects Later On in Life by Ashley Strickland. This is a quote: "Researchers discovered that children who were bullied are more likely to suffer anxiety, depression, and consider self-harm and suicide later in life." This comes to prove that it has been confirmed that bullying early on in life as a child can cause depression and anxiety due to the traumatic event that occurred, because it happened so often, or it was just a significant memory that occurred, and it has to do with trust and self-esteem issues, and it just relates all back to the mentality of a child, and then how that specific event always stands out and is never forgotten. The solutions to the effects of bullying in adulthood would be educating students, parents, and teachers on bullying, because it all starts from a certain place that they observe, because children are only repeating what they see. And many teachers fail to notice that children are being bullied, as well as parents, because the children are scared to talk about it. And that's where communication comes in. And communication is key, because if there is no communication between the student and the parent or the teacher, then how is it possible for the student to feel safe and comfortable enough to be able to say, hey, I'm being bullied? But there needs to be education on that, like certain methods that they could tell in order for bullying to stop. And another way for bullying to stop is to just simply standing up and being like, no, like, stop, this isn't right. Or just simply walking away, because the less violence is better. And as I said before, communication is key, because if there is no communication, then the victim of bullying will always be bullied, and the bully will just keep on going and will not stop bullying, because no one is telling them what they're doing is wrong. And these are just a couple solutions. Wrap everything up, yes, bullying does affect adulthood, because the effects of bullying, like for example, like attendance, grades, avoiding certain activities or classes, and it could also alter the brain, like I've mentioned before. It could cause anxiety and depression and various other things. But there are solutions. Though these solutions may not always work, there is a possibility in order to avoid bullying, and to also avoid the causes of bullying later on in adulthood. Thank you for your time.